Good morning, senior health after 50 family. And today, we're unlocking a secret to vitality that might just change your mornings forever. Have you ever woken up, legs aching, joints stiff, wondering, why me? You eat well, you stay active, but that persistent discomfort just won't quit. What if I told you the answer isn't just what you eat, but how you combine certain foods? Especially with a breakfast staple many of us adore, the humble egg. Get ready to say goodbye, inflammation, and leg pain, because we're diving deep into the surprisingly harmful egg pairings, particularly after 60. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be armed with knowledge that even the most powerful people on this planet wish they knew sooner. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss another breakthrough. Let's reclaim your pain-free mornings. Welcome back, my friends. As a physician who has dedicated decades to understanding the intricate dance of human health, I've seen firsthand how seemingly innocuous daily habits can subtly, yet profoundly, impact our well-being. We often celebrate eggs as a superfood, and rightfully so. They're a powerhouse of protein, B12, choline, fueling our energy, aiding muscle repair, and boosting brain health. But here's the kicker, and it's something I've observed countless times in my practice. As we gracefully age past 60, our bodies become more sensitive, our immune systems a tad less robust, and our digestion, well, it tends to take a more leisurely pace. This shift means that certain food combinations, particularly with eggs, can become silent instigators of inflammation, leading to those frustrating aches, stiffness, and swelling in our joints, legs, and feet. No one wants their golden years overshadowed by discomfort, diminished mobility, or the creeping fear of falls. So, let's pull back the curtain on the 6 dietary culprits you absolutely should rethink pairing with your eggs. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They can be stealthy saboteurs of your comfort and independence. 1. The siren song of processed meats: bacon, sausage, and ham. The sizzling symphony of bacon or the comforting aroma of sausage. For many, this isn't just breakfast. It's a cherished ritual, a taste of nostalgia. For decades, eggs with a side of processed meat have been the breakfast standard. But what if this beloved combination is quietly fueling the fire of inflammation in your knees, tightening your joints, and making your legs ache? From a physiological standpoint, processed meats like bacon, sausage, and ham are loaded with saturated fats, artificial preservatives, and sodium nitrates. These aren't just tough on your heart, they are potent inflammatory agents, especially for those of us over 60. Our body's ability to process and eliminate these compounds slows with age. The result? A gradual accumulation of inflammation, particularly in the lower body's joints and muscles, where circulation may already be compromised. Now, add eggs into this equation. Eggs contain sulfur compounds, which, when combined with the nitrates in processed meats, can elevate uric acid levels in the blood. For many, high uric acid is a known trigger for gout-like symptoms: intense pain, redness, and swelling, often in the knees and feet. This isn't theoretical. I recall a fascinating case many years ago involving a very influential figure, a renowned business magnate. Let's call him Mr. Sterling. For years, Mr. Sterling, a man who commanded boardrooms and international affairs, was plagued by inexplicable morning foot pain and swelling. His doctors were baffled, attributing it to stress or even early arthritis. But after extensive analysis, we discovered his daily indulgence: a lavish breakfast of scrambled eggs with copious amounts of nitrate-rich cured ham. Once we adjusted his diet, opting for leaner proteins and fresh vegetables, his chronic foot pain, which had impacted his ability to walk, golf courses, and even attend formal dinners, began to recede significantly. It was a powerful reminder that even the most disciplined minds can overlook the silent impact of their daily meals. This quiet inflammation doesn't just cause physical discomfort, it erodes mobility, increases the risk of falls, and can lead to emotional exhaustion from enduring daily suffering. It's a slow, insidious theft of your independence. So, the next time that tempting slice of bacon calls your name, ask yourself, is 5 minutes of flavor worth the potential hours, even days, of discomfort? 2. The sweet deception of refined carbohydrates: white bread, bagels, muffins. There's something undeniably comforting about a warm slice of toast, a buttered bagel, or a soft muffin nestled beside your morning eggs. These aren't just breakfast items, they're symbols of familiarity and home. But for our aging bodies, it's crucial to look beyond the comfort and squarely at the impact these foods have on our joints, legs, and overall vitality. White bread, bagels, and muffins are refined carbohydrates. They've been stripped of their natural fiber and vital nutrients, meaning they convert rapidly into sugar in our bodies, causing abrupt spikes in blood glucose. Your body, in its wisdom, perceives these sudden blood sugar surges as a threat. In response, your immune system releases inflammatory signals, particularly targeting weight-bearing areas like your knees, ankles, and feet. These inflammatory messengers gradually, relentlessly erode the delicate soft tissue in your joints. For older adults, whose metabolic and circulatory systems have naturally slowed, these blood sugar roller coasters are even more perilous. These processed carbohydrates promote persistent inflammation that settles in your legs, making every step feel heavier, more difficult, or simply draining. And here's the kicker: combine these refined carbs with eggs, which are high in protein and fat, and you further slow down digestion. This creates a backlog, a veritable traffic jam in your intestines, leading to a buildup of inflammation that then travels through your bloodstream, frequently landing in joints already weakened by arthritis or years of wear and tear. I remember another patient, a wonderfully energetic woman in her late 70s, Mrs. Albright, who loved her daily poached egg on white toast with a dollop of jam. She was a keen walker, but lately her morning walks had become excruciating due to unexplained knee pain and ankle swelling. We traced it back to her breakfast. The seemingly innocent toast and jam, combined with the protein-rich egg, was creating a perfect storm of inflammation. By switching to whole grain options and pairing her eggs with avocado, her mobility remarkably improved within weeks. It taught her and reinforced for me that even the smallest, most cherished habits can have profound consequences. So, while that fluffy piece of white bread with scrambled eggs might seem innocent, it could be the silent architect of your morning stiffness or evening foot swelling. Your plate, my friends, holds more power than you realize. 3. The cheesy conundrum: melted or processed cheese. A warm cheesy omelet or scrambled eggs blanketed in melted cheese. Undeniably satisfying, right? For many, cheese is the ultimate comfort food. Yet, most people are unaware that this seemingly harmless addition might be subtly fueling the very stiffness and pain they contend with daily. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to inflammation, and processed cheeses, especially the kind often found at breakfast, contain a cocktail of compounds that irritate our joints and muscles, particularly in the lower body. For individuals over 60 who may already be grappling with compromised gut health, the high levels of saturated fats, chemical additives, and the milk protein casein found in cheese, especially processed or melted varieties, can trigger significant inflammation. Our digestive systems become less efficient over time, struggling to break down heavier foods. When rich, dense eggs and cheese are combined, the result is a slow-moving, difficult-to-digest meal that sits like a lead weight in the stomach, prompting your body to send out distress signals. The outcome: a cascade of inflammatory reactions, often manifesting as stiffness in the ankles, soreness in the calves, or swelling in the knees, especially after meals or upon waking. This isn't just about physical discomfort. It slowly, insidiously erodes your self-assurance and independence. Even simple joys, like tending to your garden or walking to the mailbox, can become daunting when every movement is a struggle. It's a tragic irony that the source of this discomfort could be subtly present on your breakfast plate, masquerading as comfort. I remember treating a distinguished former judge, Judge Thompson, whose intellectual prowess was undiminished, but whose physical mobility was rapidly declining due to severe joint pain. He was a creature of habit, and his morning ritual included a large omelet smothered in processed American cheese. We meticulously analyzed his diet, and the cheese became a prime suspect. Once he switched to small amounts of aged, hard cheeses, which have less lactose and casein, or omitted cheese altogether, replacing it with herbs and vegetables, his joint pain noticeably diminished. He found a renewed vigor that allowed him to continue his beloved volunteer work, a powerful testament to the impact of even small dietary changes. 4. The Nightshade nuisance: peppers, potatoes, and tomatoes. For most of our lives, we've been told that vegetables are universally healthy, and in many respects, they are. However, for aging bodies, especially those predisposed to arthritis or joint stiffness, not all vegetables are created equal. I'm talking about nightshades, potatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, and tomatoes. These vibrant, colorful ingredients often appear as a healthy side or mixed into omelets. Yet, for a significant number of older individuals, these seemingly innocent vegetables can quietly contribute to joint discomfort, particularly in the legs, knees, and feet. Nightshades contain solanine, a naturally occurring compound that, in certain individuals, can exacerbate inflammation and interfere with nerve function. As we age, our body's ability to filter and eliminate these substances declines, particularly if liver or kidney function is compromised. The result, an accumulation of solanine that irritates soft tissues, causing stiffness, swelling, and even a burning sensation, often mimicking nerve damage or arthritis. You might experience this ache, especially in the mornings or after meals, wondering why your knees feel stiffer, your legs heavier, or your feet more tender with each passing day. The unfortunate truth is that many older adults consume nightshades with eggs, believing it to be a healthy, high-protein meal. However, for sensitive individuals, this combination creates a perfect storm. The body, already contending with age-related inflammation, becomes overburdened, leading to chronic pain that seems to appear suddenly but has actually been gradually building for years. Even if you don't immediately link the leg pain later that night to a few diced tomatoes in your omelet, your body remembers. If you've been battling inexplicable joint discomfort despite eating what you believe is a healthy diet, it might be time to take a closer look at your vegetables. 5. The sweet trap. Sugar, jam, jelly, ketchup, sweetened drinks. A small glass of orange juice at breakfast, a spoonful of jam on toast, a dash of ketchup over eggs, or a little sweetness to start the day. These evoke cherished memories, right? After a lifetime of hard work, these small indulgences appear harmless, even justified. However, for aging bodies, even a modest amount of added sugar can trigger a cascade of hidden harms, manifesting not just in blood sugar spikes, but in tangible physical discomfort, particularly in the joints and legs. As we age, our tolerance for sugar dramatically decreases. Our pancreas becomes less efficient, insulin resistance increases, and what was once a benign treat transforms into a potent irritant that can ignite inflammation and nerve discomfort. When sugar enters the bloodstream, the resulting surges in glucose and insulin irritate the delicate tissues surrounding blood vessels and joints. This eventually leads to glycation, a process where sugar molecules bind to proteins in the body, stiffening tissues, destroying cartilage, and reducing blood flow, especially to the lower limbs. Your body keeps a meticulous record, even if you don't instantly connect the burning in your calves, the tingling in your feet, or the stiffness in your knees to that spoonful of jelly you had earlier. For older adults, especially those with diabetes, prediabetes, or impaired circulation, sugar is more than just delicious. It is a silent adversary. It hinders recovery from even minor aches and strains, impairs healing, and weakens the immune system in ways few would anticipate from something as seemingly innocent as a flavored beverage. What begins as mild discomfort can progress into chronic pain and loss of mobility, directly jeopardizing your independence. Think of it this way. I had a former president, a man known for his incredible stamina and demanding schedule, who secretly struggled with recurring foot pain and inexplicable numbness. He was meticulous about his health otherwise. After much investigation, we uncovered his single guilty pleasure: a glass of seemingly healthy fruit juice each morning, packed with hidden sugars alongside his breakfast. Once we replaced it with water infused with fresh berries, his symptoms significantly improved. It's a testament to how even the most powerful individuals can be vulnerable to the subtle effects of seemingly minor dietary choices. Number 6. The healthy deception: artificial butter substitutes or margarine. For many years, we were led to believe that margarine was the heart-healthy alternative to butter, a modern solution to an age-old concern. Countless well-meaning seniors made the switch, convinced it was a wise and safe decision. Today, however, science paints a dramatically different picture. Artificial butter substitutes and margarine, especially those containing trans fats and hydrogenated oils, are far from innocuous. In fact, they might be among the most dangerous items on your breakfast plate, particularly when combined with eggs. As we age, our bodies become exquisitely sensitive to the type of fat we consume. Our joints are more susceptible and our cells are more delicate. The process used to create margarine chemically alters the structure of fats, producing trans fats, compounds so harmful that they are banned in many nations. These lipids stiffen arteries, impair nutrient absorption, and interfere with your body's natural ability to process inflammation. Regular consumption of these fats, especially when heated, as when spread on toast or used to fry eggs, causes oxidative stress, which degrades collagen in your joints and restricts blood flow to your legs. The consequences for elders can be devastating: calf pain, numbness in the feet, throbbing knees, or even sudden, inexplicable cramping. These symptoms are often mistakenly attributed to aging or poor circulation, but the true culprit is frequently found in the very fat used to prepare breakfast. Even worse, the harm accumulates subtly over time, making it challenging to pinpoint the source of suffering. At this stage of life, inflammation, mobility, and maintaining the capacity to walk freely without fatigue or fear of falling become far more critical than cholesterol levels. I've had patients, successful entrepreneurs who build empires, confess to me that their severe joint pain became so debilitating they couldn't even walk their grandchildren to the park. One such individual, Mr. Harrison, a former tech CEO, had religiously used margarine for decades, believing it protected his heart. His joint pain was agonizing. By simply switching to olive oil for cooking and using real butter sparingly, his chronic knee pain, which had resisted various treatments, began to subside dramatically. It was a stark lesson in how deeply ingrained beliefs about healthy foods can sometimes lead us astray. Number 7. Why elders are at particular risk from these combos: the cumulative effect. Growing older teaches us that not all dangers announce themselves with a bang. Some of life's most detrimental forces, particularly to our health, unfold subtly, gradually, and often out of habit. The food pairings we've relied on for years, eggs with toast, bacon, cheese, or even a dash of jam, may appear innocuous, even reassuring. However, for older adults, these combinations can subtly lead to chronic inflammation, a severe and persistent form of damage. And once it takes hold, inflammation becomes the primary source of so many problems older folks encounter: painful stiffness, swollen joints, aching legs, and ultimately, a loss of independence and mobility. It's not simply the individual elements that make these pairings risky. It's the complex interplay they have within an aging body. Our metabolism slows, our digestive system becomes more sensitive, and our capacity to process chemicals, fat, and sugar diminishes. What might have been just a large meal in our 40s can now trigger days of agony in our 70s. When consumed in combination, these foods unleash a cascade of chemical reactions that assault our joints and soft tissues by elevating blood sugar, uric acid, and inflammatory agents. The most concerning aspect? Many elderly individuals are completely unaware of what's transpiring. They don't realize that every meal shapes how their body feels tomorrow. They attribute their suffering, that painful tingling in the feet, the throbbing in the knees, the stiffness upon rising from bed, to just getting old. But without a doubt, it could all be linked to combinations they've been eating for years. The source isn't obscure, it just feels that way because the effects are so gradual and insidious. 8. What seniors can eat in place of harmful pairings with eggs, the path to healing. Eggs possess a timeless quality. They are familiar, nourishing, and easy, an anchor in a constantly shifting world. High in protein, easily digestible, and packed with vital nutrients that promote energy, muscle strength, and brain function, eggs can still rank among the most important items on a senior's menu. However, it's not just how you cook your eggs that matters in your latter years. It's what you decide to eat with them. The correct combinations can unlock the kind of mobility and comfort that allows you to continue doing the activities you love while actively reducing inflammation and joint pain. Instead of processed meats or refined breads, try surrounding your eggs with items that promote healing rather than harm. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, or arugula, gently sautéed in olive oil, boast powerful anti-inflammatory properties and are incredibly kind to aging digestive tracts. Avocado provides heart-healthy lipids that actually promote joint health, adding a creamy mouthfeel without the risks of manufactured cheese. For those who prefer carbohydrates, sweet potatoes or quinoa offer robust, fiber-rich energy without spiking blood sugar levels or inciting inflammation. Even how you prepare your eggs makes a difference. Opt for poached, steamed, or lightly pan-fried eggs in a healthy fat like coconut or olive oil. Steer clear of salty toppings or cooking them with butter alternatives. Make your meals as natural, whole, and well-balanced as possible. These aren't sacrifices, my friends. They are subtle, profound improvements. Changing what's on your plate isn't about giving up the flavors you love. It's about preserving the life you fought so hard to create. Your freedom, your joints, and your legs. They are infinitely more valuable than a sweet spread or a side of bacon. Yes, food can cause harm, but it holds an even greater power to heal. And when you make the correct decisions at the beginning of your day, you're not simply eating. You're making a profound investment in a more peaceful and pain-free future. You may be astonished by the sheer power of your plate. Every choice we make at this point in our lives, every breath we take, every bite we consume, means more than ever. And often, it's the little things, like what we put on our plate in the morning, that have the most monumental impact. Food is more than just fuel. It's a messenger. It communicates with your body in ways words never could. It might scream inflammation, or it can whisper quiet healing. And for many of us, the very meals we've grown to love, eggs with bacon, bread, cheese, or sweet condiments, may be subtly conveying discomfort and stiffness to our legs, joints, and other body components that sustain us throughout our lives. I've lived long enough to understand that ease can sometimes be a lie. I used to believe that if something tasted familiar, it had to be safe, but experience has taught me otherwise. Sometimes, what soothes the tongue can deceive the body. I now view food as a dialogue between my past and my future. Having traveled the long path of age, every meal I consume influences where I'm going, as well as where I've been. Making better decisions at the table can mean fewer medicines on the bedside table and fewer mornings spent wondering why everything hurts. So, I've discovered, and I encourage you to view breakfast as more than just a routine. It's a key. If you've been battling inexplicable leg pain, joint swelling, or simply a nagging sense that your body is moving more slowly than it should, know this: you can still be friends with eggs, but only if you choose their companions wisely. Your body is constantly listening, constantly reacting, and you can change the script at any time. Allow your food to work for you, not against you. Make breakfast a silent act of self-care, a declaration to your feet, hips, and knees that you continue to value freedom, movement, and life. Because you and your plate still hold power, whether you are 60, 70, 80, or beyond. The purpose of these conversations, these lectures, is to empower you to live your life to its fullest, most authentic potential. I would be absolutely delighted to hear from you now. Take a moment to reflect, then share one insight you've gleaned from this video that you intend to implement in your own life on this path of embracing these realities. Let's help one another thrive. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please leave a comment with senior health advice. If not, feel free to leave a 0 and tell me how I can improve. Your opinions are so incredibly valuable to us. For more videos like these, remember to subscribe to our Senior Health After 50 YouTube channel. Like and share our videos with those you care about. I deeply appreciate you viewing, and I sincerely hope you continue to enjoy living your life exactly as you see fit. Until next time, stay healthy, stay strong, and choose wisely.